Hello everyone. In today's video, I will be showing you how to crochet these super cute butterfly keychains. This tutorial is beginner friendly and easy to follow, so stick around and let's crochet them together step by step. Step 1 being materials, you'll need a weight for yarn and a color of your choice for the butterfly wings. I'm going to use pink. You will also need another color for the body. If you choose to make your butterfly 2 colors, it'll be this middle portion right here. A 3mm hook, some scissors, a stitch marker, a yarn needle, and your keyring. Okay, let's begin making the butterfly. We're going to start by making a slip knot. After our slip knot is made, we're going to tighten it around our hook. Now that we have our slip knot here, what we're going to do is chain 10. After you chain 10, this is what it should be looking like. And now what we're going to do is slip stitch into this very first chain that we made here. So we're going to place our hook inside of that very first chain. And now we're going to yarn over and pull through that very first chain and the loop on our hook to make a slip stitch. What we've made here is a beginner-friendly magic ring. We'll be working all of our stitches inside of this ring here. So let's start round 1. We're going to start by chaining 2. So that's 1 and 2, and now we have our chain of 2 here. Now what we'll be doing in round 1 is 2 double crochet and then chain 2. And we're going to repeat that 8 times. So let's start by placing our first double crochet within this ring here. We're going to yarn over and then place your hook inside of that ring. And now we want to make sure that this yarn tail we have is on top of our hook as well as the round, so we can hide it within the piece. And then we're going to yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over again, pull through 2. And this is our first double crochet here. So we're gonna go ahead and grab our stitch marker and mark this very first stitch here. So not the chain 2, but the double crochet that we just made. We're going to place our stitch marker in that stitch. Now that our double crochet is marked, we're going to place another double crochet within this ring. So yarn over, go inside that ring, making sure that tail is on top of your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And now this is our second double crochet here. So now that we have 2 double crochets, what we're going to do is chain 2. Now what we have here is 2 double crochet and then chain 2. And now we're going to repeat this 7 more times. So let's begin making another double crochet within this ring here. Now that we have our double crochet, we're going to make another one. So we have 2 double crochet. And now that we have our set of 2 double crochet here, we're going to chain 2. After we chain 2, we're just going to continue this pattern 6 more times inside this ring. Okay, we're on our last double crochets here. After you make your 2 double crochet, we're going to chain 2. Now at this point, this is what our piece should be looking like. And if you count each set of 2 double crochet, we should have 8 sets. So go ahead and count your 2 double crochet and make sure you have 8 clusters. Once you've counted your sets and you have 8, what we're going to do is remove our stitch marker here in that first double crochet that we made, and we're going to make a slip stitch inside of that stitch. So place your hook inside of that very first stitch, and then yarn over, pull through that stitch and the loop on our hook to make a slip stitch. After you make a slip stitch into that very first stitch, what we're going to do is make another slip stitch into the next stitch. Now this is our second slip stitch. Now what we're going to do is place our hook inside of this chain 2 space here, and then we're going to drop our old color and take our new color, short side facing the back, place that on our hook and pull through that chain 2 space with our new color and pull through that loop on our hook with our new color. And now what we're going to do is take our old yarn color and pull on it so it can tighten up that stitch here. And now we're going to take our new color and pull on it so we can tighten it around our hook and hold this yarn tail back here with our other finger. Now what we're going to do is chain 2. So we're just going to hold that yarn tail to the back of our piece and then make our chain 2. After we chain 2, we're going to go ahead and cut our old color off. Let's begin round 2. What we'll be doing is 5 double crochet within that chain 2 space and then 2 single crochet. Let's start by making our first double crochet in that chain 2 space here. So what we're going to do is yarn over, and then what we're going to do is hold our yarn tails here and then place our hook inside of that chain 2 space. Make sure that those yarn tails are on top of your hook so we could weave them in the piece. Pull through that chain 2 space and proceed making your double crochet. Okay, this is our first double crochet here, and now we're just going to place 4 more double crochet within this chain 2 space, so we have a total of 5 double crochet in that chain 2 space. Okay, once you do your 5 double crochet within that space, this is what it should look like. And now what we're going to do is single crochet, single crochet. So you might need to push your double crochets back a little bit so we can make our first single crochet on top of this double crochet stitch here. So push your stitches back and then go on top of that first double crochet here, this next stitch, and we're going to make a single crochet. Now that's our first single crochet. Now we're going to go in the next stitch and make another single crochet. Now what we have here is a 5 double crochet in that chain 2 space and then 2 single crochet, and now we're going to repeat this all the way around. So we're going to go in this next chain 2 space here with 5 double crochet. After you make your 5 double crochet within that chain 2 space, we're going to make 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So pull your 5 double crochet back, go in that next stitch with a single crochet, and then going to the following stitch with a single crochet. And now we're just going to repeat this pattern all the way around. Okay, we're on our last double crochet here. And now we're at the end of our piece. We only have 1 double crochet left, so what we're going to do is just go into that stitch and make a slip stitch. After you make your slip stitch, you can go ahead and cut off all these yarn tails that we crocheted within the piece. Now that we made our slip stitch and cut off those yarn tails, what we're going to do is chain 15. After you chain 15, this is what it should look like. And now we're just going to fold our piece in half like this, and then we're going to wrap that chain around the piece. Once you have that chain wrapped around your piece, what we're going to do is go on the other side here where we have our single crochets, and we're going to slip stitch into one of those single crochets. After you make your slip stitch, you can go ahead and cut your yarn and then pull up a loop. Okay, now at this point we have our butterfly body done, and now what we're going to do is cut off this remaining yarn tail here, and the part that we cut off we're going to save to make the antenna. So we're going to put that to the side, and now what we're going to do is just split this yarn and we're going to knot it and cut it. Let's begin making the antenna. What we're going to do is take this yarn tail that we saved earlier, and now we're going to place 2 knots on this yarn tail 1 inch away from each other. So you just want to begin making a knot like this. Then once you have your first knot made, we're going to go on the other side of this tail, and we're going to make another knot 1 inch away from our first knot. Now what we have here is a piece of yarn with 2 knots in it, 1 inch away from each other, and we're going to thread this onto our yarn needle like this. And then we're just going to go to the top of our butterfly here where the antenna would be, and we're going to go under that chain and pull through with this yarn tail. And then you're just going to take both ends of the yarn tail and line up the knots like this, and then cut the remaining yarn off like so. And that is going to make the little butterfly antenna. At this point, the butterfly is done. We just have to add our keyring. So you want to take your yarn needle and the yarn that matches your wings, and we're going to go from under our butterfly like this and come out on one side of the chain. And then we're going to pull through with our yarn. And now what we're going to do is take our keyring, and we're going to go through that bottom loop with our yarn needle like this and thread that onto our yarn. Now that we have that keyring on the yarn, what we're going to do is take our yarn needle and go on the other side of the chain and come out here where our yarn tail is sticking out of and pull through. And then you want to pull on your yarn tightly to really secure it. And then you're just going to repeat going through that bottom loop, pulling through, and then go on the other side of that chain, come out on the other side where our yarn tail is sticking out of, pull through. And once you feel your keyring is secure, what we're going to do is take our yarn needle and go where we originally started here, pull through, and then we're going to knot these tails and cut them off. So you just want to tie a few knots, and then you take your scissors and snip that off. And our butterfly keychain is complete. If you guys enjoyed today's tutorial, be sure to check out this one where you'll learn how to crochet these super cute frog keychains. Peace.